Jesus vanished for 18 years. Why? Christian tradition holds that Jesus spent his early years in Nazareth, later emerging around age 30 to begin his ministry. However, the Gospels of the New Testament are silent about his life from ages 12 to 30. This period is often referred to as the lost years of Jesus. Believers assert that Jesus lived a quiet, unremarkable life during these years, preparing spiritually for his public role. The Gospel of Luke 2:52 tells us that Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. This suggests a period of growth and development, yet provides no specifics. The absence of detail has left room for speculation and intrigue, prompting questions about what Jesus may have done during this time. To explore these lost years, we must turn to historical and textual analyses. Some theories suggest that Jesus traveled to India or the Far East to learn from spiritual teachers there. This idea gained attention in the late 19th century when Russian journalist Nicholas Notovich published The Unknown Life of Jesus Christ, claiming to have discovered ancient records in a Tibetan monastery that documented Jesus' travels in India. However, Notovich's claims were debunked by subsequent investigators like J. Archibald Douglas, who visited the monastery and found no such texts. Another intriguing hypothesis comes from the field of archaeology. In 2006, an archaeological dig at Sepphoris, a city near Nazareth, revealed extensive construction activities during the period associated with Jesus' lost years. Some scholars, like James D. Tabor, suggest that Jesus, possibly working as a carpenter alongside Joseph, might have traveled to Sepphoris for employment. This scenario fits the socio-economic context, but does not present a dramatically different understanding of Jesus' life. The strongest counterargument posits that the absence of records in canonical texts is intentional, implying that these years were simply uneventful and focused on ordinary life. Theologian Craig S. Keener argues that the Gospels are theological in nature rather than biographical. Thus, the lack of information aligns with their purpose, to highlight Jesus' divine mission rather than mundane details. Yet this argument falters under scrutiny. If mundane details were irrelevant, why include narratives of Jesus' birth or his visit to the temple at age 12? The Gospels include numerous mundane aspects of Jesus' life, suggesting that the absence of records about these 18 years could reflect lost or deliberately withheld information rather than insignificance. Moreover, first-century Jewish historian Josephus and Roman historian Tacitus provide external attestations of Jesus' existence. However, they too offer no insights into these years, underscoring a historical gap rather than theological irrelevance. Ultimately, the theories lack concrete evidence. Notovich's claims were proven false, and while archaeological findings at Sepphoris are fascinating, they are speculative at best regarding Jesus' involvement. The argument that the Gospel writers simply deemed these years unimportant is inconsistent with their inclusion of other seemingly mundane details. In conclusion, the notion that Jesus' lost years were filled with foreign travels or extraordinary events lacks credible support. The absence of records does not imply a significant chapter in his life. Rather, it highlights the complexities of historical documentation and the theological focus of early Christian writers. The historical gap remains, but the speculations often exceed the evidence. What are the implications of this historical silence?